Have you ever stopped to wonder what actually happens in that tiny fraction of a second between pressing a key and seeing a character appear on screen? It feels instantaneous, but every single keystroke is a complex digital journey. Every press is actually a tiny, high-speed electrical event happening deep within your hardware. Today, we are going to peel back the layers of your hardware and trace the remarkable path of a signal from physical movement to digital code. The journey begins with a physical action. When you push down on a key, you are effectively closing an open electrical circuit that was previously broken. As the key reaches the bottom, the contact points meet. This allows a tiny stream of electrons to surge forward, creating a wave of energy. This fundamental change in the electrical state is the first message. The keyboard's electronics perceive this shift as a clear transition from off to on. On a technical level, engineers monitor this through a diagram. A sharp spike in current marks the press, while a dip marks the moment you release. But the keyboard isn't just waiting around. At its core lies a small, dedicated microprocessor, often called the keyboard's brain, which manages all communications. This processor performs a process called scanning. It sends rapid digital pulses across a grid of wires, checking thousands of times per second for a signal. Physical switches are imperfect. When they touch, they often bounce back and forth, creating messy electrical noise that could be interpreted as multiple rapid presses. To solve this, the processor uses debouncing. It waits a few milliseconds to ensure the signal is stable, filtering out the noise to record one clean press. Once the press is confirmed, the processor determines exactly which key was hit. If you pressed a, it generates a unique identifier known as a scan code. Every key has its own signature. The left shift key and the right shift key might look the same to you, but they send distinct numerical codes. This scan code is then placed into a small packet of data and sent into the keyboard's internal buffer, waiting its turn to be sent outward. Now, the keyboard needs the computer's attention. It sends an interrupt signal, acting like a digital traffic cop that momentarily halts the CPU's current tasks. This signal is an urgent priority. The computer's operating system receives the message, "Stop. I have a new keystroke that needs to be processed immediately." The CPU pauses, reads the scan code from the buffer, and sends a confirmation back to the keyboard, acknowledging that the message was successfully received. But what about special keys like Shift, Ctrl, or Alt? These are modifier keys, and they change the rules of how other keys are interpreted. When you press caps lock, it toggles a specific bit in a memory area called the status byte. This flips a 0 to a 1 in the BIOS. The system then calculates the final output. The raw scan code for A combined with the active shift status results in a capital A character. Beyond the logic, hardware design varies. The two most common types are capacitive switches and the classic hard contact designs found in many office keyboards. Capacitive designs are sophisticated. They don't require the parts to touch. Instead, they measure a change in electrical potential as a plunger moves closer to a pad. Hard contact designs are simpler. A rubber dome collapses under your finger, pushing a conductive pad onto a circuit board to physically bridge the gap. From current changes and debouncing to interrupts and BIOS translation, the journey of a keystroke is a masterclass in high-speed engineering and digital logic. Next time you type, remember that every single character on your screen is the end result of a tiny, brilliant digital story unfolding beneath your fingertips. If you enjoyed this deep dive into how your hardware works, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon for more technical explanations.